It's an interesting dilemma. Should the Braves hope for more rain? On Thursday, there was rain, and Tim Hudson helped the Braves win in Miami. On Friday, more rain and a series opening win against the Pirates. And last night, the heavens opened up for a third time, and again, no problemo. Another Braves win over the Buccos. And today, on Sunday Braves, the Braves go for their 5th consecutive win and a sweep of the Pirates. To rain or not to rain? That's today's big question. At Turner Field in Atlanta, as we welcome you to Sunday Braves on Fox Sports South. It's brought to you by your Greater Atlanta Hyundai dealers. Make it a Hyundai Sunday every week on Fox Sports South. The Braves break out the brooms as we continue with this Memorial Day weekend in Atlanta. They go for a 3-game series sweep as they host the 20-30 Pittsburgh Pirates. And good afternoon, everybody, with Joe Simpson and Tom Glavine, Chip Carey. Welcome back to Braves baseball. Kenshin Kawakami, Joe, goes to the mound for the Braves. He's 0-7. Can he turn it around today?
Who better to have start today if you're going for the sweep than a guy that's 0-7? He's so due, it's ridiculous. I think there's just a little bit of zen around him today here at the ballpark. I think it's going to work for him. And let's hope that he's gotten a secret handshake from Martin Prado, because we all know that Martin's got the magic wand working right now. He's got the magic touch. Let's hope Kenshin gets some runs that'll help him win today.
And speaking of good things, I mean, I don't think they've lost a game since I've been here on Sunday, so that obviously has to continue as well. But Kenshin's pitched much better than his numbers. His last 2 starts in particular, 12 innings, 3 earned runs, 0-1 on those 2 starts. The victim of not much run support here, only 2.7 runs per start, which is not very good. And hopefully these guys can continue what they're doing, go out there and score him some runs and get him to relax a little bit.
So Joe Simpson's talking about a whole lot of zen for Kenshin Kawakami. Tom Glavine brings a whole lot of baloney. We're off to a flying start on Hyundai Sunday. Braves go for a sweep. We'll have the starting lineups on what appears for the moment to be a nice start to our festivities in Atlanta. Braves and Buccos lineups coming up in a moment. dealers and by AirTran Airways. Breeze blowing from right to left here at Turner Field. The skies are cloudy, but there is plenty of sunshine as the Braves and Buccos battle in Game 3 of the series. And our Braves broadcast on Sports South is presented in beautiful high definition by our friends at H. Gregg. The Pirates have lost 4 games in a row. They're 20-30 in 2010, and they will line up with Andrew McCutchen in center field. Neil Walker, the Pittsburgh native, has had quite a week in his stint with the Pirates in the major leagues. Delwyn Young gets the start in right field. Former Brave farmhand Garrett Jones in left. Clement at first. Cedeno at short. Jason Jaramillo behind the plate. Aki Iwamura bats 8th at second. And Paul Mahalam will pitch and bat 9th.
And on the mound for the Braves, his 10th start, Kenshin Kawakami, looking for his first win, as you see. But one thing he's really done lately is cut down on his walks. Did not walk a batter in his last start against Florida. Went 6 innings, gave up 7 hits and 3 runs, and struck out 2. Made 1 start against the Pirates last year and lost that one. Gave up 3 runs in 6 innings. His 4 keys to pitching success today. He's the Zen master today. Dazzle him and limit those mistakes on the split finger pitch. He's been leaving a few of those up in the zone. He's got to cut down on that today against the Pirates.
And the first man he'll face is a man that homered here last night. That's Pirates center fielder Andrew McCutchen. 4th game of the year that he has batted in the number 1 spot for John Russell. And a good start. A quick strike over the inside corner. Very comfortable afternoon for the moment. 78 degrees. As we said, the wind blowing toward the left field corner. There are thunder showers all around the city of Atlanta today. So let's get KK an early lead, get through 5, and see what happens late this afternoon. Back up the middle, and Kawakami recovers to take care of McCutchen. Good start for Kawakami. Here's the defense behind him. Cabrera, McLouth, and Hayward from left to right. 1 change on the Atlanta infield. Omar Infante giving Chipper Jones the afternoon off after the night game last night. And David Ross back in there. He's had a good series at the plate. And a chance for Brian McCann to get that quad 100% in time for the Phillies series, which starts here tomorrow afternoon. Pittsburgh native Neil Walker takes a strike.
He's got a nice swing left-handed. Haven't seen much right-handed yet. Switch hitter. But he's barreling up a lot of pitches in this series. 3 doubles.
Breaking ball. Here's the Geico quote of the day from John Russell regarding Neil Walker.
I love this. I'm not a rocket scientist, but I can kind of figure out if a guy's swinging the bat pretty well. I would say that is especially true if you're watching the Pirates play a lot.
High fly ball into right center field. Nate McLouth takes over, flips the glasses down, and flips them back up as he gathers that one in for the second out. But you like the move of Walker, Joe. You talked about it last night, getting him in the lineup. Mentioned last evening, you think he's made their team better already?
He already makes their team better. And they've got some other young guys that, as we talked in Pittsburgh, Chip, need to be here. The kid Alvarez, it makes their team more youthful, more exciting, and gives them something to work on and get better on every day.
Here's another one of those youngsters, Delwyn Young, playing right field. Another one of those, I guess you'd call them super utility players. And that's another thing the Pirates seem to have a lot of.
They've got a bunch of guys right now.
Young has hit a home run. He's knocked in 9 and a .239 batting average. He came over in a trade with the Dodgers for pitcher Eric Krebs.
Got a lot of infielders or guys who can play on the infield. Almost an overload.
High and away ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. That's hit well into left center field. Melky Cabrera on the run. Slows and hauls it in. Young hit that ball hard and hit it a long way, but Melky tracked it down. And Kawakami has a 1-2-3 top half of the first inning. Game 3 against the Pirates. Prado leads off. Infante in for Chipper Jones. Jason Hayward slides down to the number 3 spot, and he has worn out Pirate pitching this year. Troy Gloss has had a great month of May. Yunel Escobar, Melky Cabrera, then David Ross. Nate McLeod bats 8th. Kawakami 9th. Paul Mahalam 3 and 4 pitching for the Pirates today.
Hey, check this out. They have a little bio on each of the guys in their media guide. And for Paul Mahalam, athlete admired growing up. Tom Glavine.
Smart kid.
How about that?
You know, got to give him some credit for that.
First pitch to Prado is upstairs, ball 1.
Oh, by the way, he's pretty good, too.
Yeah, he's much better than his record indicates. Good young pitcher, attacks the strike zone. The Braves going to have to be patient with him. He's going to want them to chase some pitches.
3 and 4 on the year, 3.98 ERA. A lot of walks in there for him. 24 and 61 innings. That's unusual. And pitching really good lately. He's not given up a run in his last 10 innings.
Sometimes that walk number can be deceiving, I think, when you're on a team like this that's not winning a lot, not scoring a lot of runs. Sometimes I would venture to say he gets in that mode where he's trying to be perfect and not give up runs, and that leads to some walks.
Grounded up the middle. Another hit for Prado. That's 68 of them. And that leads the National League by 6 over Ryan Braun of the Brewers.
Those 4 keys to success for Mahalam to explain Groundhog Day. He's the 3rd straight lefty to pitch against Atlanta, and they all pitch very similar, so that should be to Atlanta's favor today, having seen Burris and Duke before him. So he's got to be a little bit of a cheerleader today, too. Get these guys fired up. They've fallen into a little bit of a funk. They've lost 4 in a row. He's got to keep the troops fired up today.
Rounded over third, but foul. And a quick strike to Omar Infante. Hitting behind Prado and in front of Hayward. Talking with Bobby Cox today. Nothing wrong with Chipper physically. Just a chance to rest him up after the long night last night. Both he and Brian McCann expected to be in the lineup for tomorrow's series opener with the Phillies. And where would the Braves be had Omar Infante not come up big when Escobar was hurt? He had such a good 2-week run. Was one of the few guys on this Braves lineup card that was actually hitting around 300. Well,
he's actually done it ever since he's been here. I mean, he was kind of under the radar screen when he came over from Detroit. And I'll tell you what, he's even parts of last year he was the most valuable player at times.
Well, between he and David Ross, I mean, you could count probably 10 or 12 clubs at least that both of these guys could be starting for. Braves are fortunate to have both of them.
And then you factor in the play of Eric Hinsky, who also in that 2-week stretch of starting did such a good job. So another, I think, under talked about asset for this ball club is this Braves bench. They are very strong in reserve.
You hear that cliche, one of the many cliches in the game of baseball. It takes all 25 guys on your team to win. I mean, the Braves have seen that very much early on with these guys that have been hurt and the guys that are filling in. And like you said, fortunately for them, the guys that they're bringing off the bench, they're not losing a whole lot when those guys are out there.
1-2 the count to Infante. And he hits a high fly ball to left that Garrett Jones should track down. And Infante just missed as he flies out to left. Jones is in left. McCutchen is in center. Delwyn Young is in right. That's the Pirate outfield. Walker over at third base today with Cedeno and Iwamura up the middle. Jeff Clement at first. Jason Jaramillo behind the plate. And Paul Mahalam will now face Jason Hayward, who will take his 8th turn at bat as the Braves' number 3 hitter this year. Jason 3 for 7 hitting third for the Braves. He's knocked in 2 runs. He has 4 walks. And so far 4 for 8 is Hayward in this series versus the Pirates. He got the fun started early last night. His 10th home run. That came against Brian Burris, the Pirates starter. And 2 breaking balls has him behind 0-2.
I venture to say Mahalam's going to give him a pretty steady diet of those today.
Mahalam's allowed 6 home runs this year, but none in his last 4 starts. That's helped him cut his ERA down. Again, he hasn't given up a run at all in his last 10 innings pitched. And he's given his team a chance to win. His last 5 road starts, the team is 4-1 in those starts.
Jason lines that one into right center field. McCutchen dives. The ball comes out of his glove. And look at Prado run the bases. On his way to third, and he's safe.
When Andrew McCutchen gets his glove on it, he usually catches it, but I don't know that he was able to hold on to this because of the way he hit the ground. No, it came out of the glove before that. Almost like he overran that a little bit too much, like he didn't have to dive for it. Good hustle by Martin to take the extra base on a close play.
Yeah, that was really good base running by Martin. Not as a leadoff hitter, not a guy that's probably going to steal a ton of bases, but he runs the bases really well, and that's a perfect example of it right there, going first to third on that play.
Here's Troy Gloss. He has had a huge May. That is our hardest working player. Presented by our friends at Toyota and the Toyota Tundra. Numbers are very, very good for Gloss.
Leading the league in RBIs in the month of May. Can you believe that? And Martin Prado one behind him.
Little fly ball into right center field. McCutchen surrounds that. Prado's going to tag, and he's going to score. And another one for Gloss. And Atlanta has a first inning lead for Kawakami. It's 1-0.
Little ABC baseball. Braves been doing that real well lately.
So Jason Hayward stands at first with 2 outs, and Yunel Escobar will try to chase him around. Escobar 0 for 8 in this series. Hard to believe it. This is the 50th game of the regular season. Almost a third of the way through.
Season will be over in no time. It's flying by.
When you play good ball, it seems to, doesn't it? Braves 18-8 this month. Scoring nearly 6 runs a game. Hayward got a good jump. Jaramillo's throw is in time, and that'll retire the side. Good throw from Jason Jaramillo. He's now 2 of 3 in throwing out opposing base stealers. And the Pirates are out of the first inning. But a Troy Gloss sac fly puts Atlanta in front. 1-0 after 1 inning. Feature. And on this date in 2003, the bashing Braves hit 4 homers for 55 in the month of May.
And what does that say there? All 4 home runs off former. Oh, never mind.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Oh. Move on. That's okay. Move on. Small print. I couldn't read it, so.
Yeah. Well,
I'd
forgotten about it.
It was a real small part.
Garrett Jones bats and takes a quick strike.
Our graphics people are great sense of humor, don't they?
They do.
Great sense of timing.
Yep. And just water off a duck's back.
5 homers, 31 RBIs for Jones, and that one right back up the middle. And that's the first Pirate hit of the day. And Jones aboard in front of Jeff Clement.
We saw the kid Huff get nailed yesterday by A-Rod.
Yep.
Scary incident. We saw Medlin get nailed last night. What's the hardest you ever remember getting hit?
Oh, boy. I got hit. I think I got hit in the hand one time in the minor leagues. That it didn't hit me hard, but it hit me right. And it hit me right in the thumb, and that hurt for a while. I think the hardest one I had was when I was playing with that other team. Jeter hit me right smack in the middle of the chest with a line drive, and one of those ones that kind of took the wind out of me. Was sore at the time, and then progressively got sore as the game went on. And then I showed up in the clubhouse the next day, looked like somebody had shot me in the chest.
The Pirates have a pitcher by the name of Chris Giacobaskis, who was hit about a month ago on a Lance Berkman shot, hit him in the head too. And only yesterday was he able to start throwing off a mound. He's been out a month.
That was always my biggest fear, and thank God it never happened.
Well, it'll take him a while to get over that fear, too, I would guess.
Double play ball off the bat of Clement. 2 outs. Pittsburgh wrapped into 3 double plays last night and already won today. And now Ronnie Cedeno, the shortstop, one of their hottest hitters, bats with the bases empty.
I like Kawakami's aggressiveness so far. He's gone out there. He's going right after these guys, and it's almost in some other games where he's gotten in trouble, and then he kind of gets into this mode. He seems like he's taking it out there with him.
1 ball, no strikes.
He went through a little period too, Tom, where he was kind of searching for some mechanical things that might help him with his control. He quit bringing his hands up over his head for part of a start. Went back to it. I see he's doing it again today. That's more comfortable for him. So hopefully he's beyond that point too, where he's searching.
Right, and that that's part of the problem when you get out to a start like he has. Even though not all of it is his fault. He's pitched well enough to win some games, but that starts building in your mind, and you start trying to find things to change, thinking it's going to make things better.
Well, one thing that'll really help change his luck is run support. Kawakami's made 32 starts in a Braves uniform. Braves have scored 2 runs or less in 23 of those 34 games for him.
Yeah, and you know that going on the mound as a pitcher. I mean, and you start pitching in the mode where you're trying not to lose.
High pop on the infield, right side. Martin Prado takes over, and Kawakami has an easy second inning. And more importantly, he has a 1-0 lead in the series wrap-up. Sunday in Atlanta. The Braves have their game faces on today. Lead by a run behind Kenshin Kawakami. And as Escobar gets set to hit, let's check out our AT trivia question. Paul Mahalam led the Pirates with 119 strikeouts last year. Can you name the last Pirate to record 200 strikeouts in a season?
Come on, Tom.
Liner over short on the first pitch for Escobar.
Good start for Esco after an 0-for-8 homestand up to that point. Doug Drabeck.
That'd be a good guess. Got to be somebody between now and then.
John Candelaria has been thrown out there by our play-by-play man. He didn't want to voice it in case it was wrong or we'd have to come back on him.
Yeah.
Very sensitive about that kind of stuff. Here's Melky Cabrera. And takes a strike.
Jason Schmidt. Denny Nagel.
Steve Glass.
Yeah. I don't know.
Vernon Wall.
Bob Friend. Way outside, ball one, strike one. Good to see Melky's bat coming to life. He's got his average up to 236. Doesn't sound like much here at the end of May, but considering where he's come from, Tommy, he's forced his way into the starting lineup.
Yeah, no, he's pretty happy right now looking up there and seeing 236 from where he came from.
That's down the left field line. That's going to go for extra bases. Escobar on his way to third and will be held up with nobody out. And they're at second and third for David Ross.
Perhaps an even better sign is the fact that he's swinging better right-handed. He came into this game hitting only $176 against left-handed pitchers, but put a good swing on that low pitch.
Yeah, I don't think he got that changeup quite where he wanted it to. Stayed a little bit about thigh high, maybe knee high, and Melky was able to pull it into the corner.
And that brings up Braves catcher David Ross, starting again for Brian McCann, and the Braves have gotten great work from David behind the plate, but at the plate too, he's had a big series.
4 for 7. A lot of RBIs, extra base hits.
Talking to David about that before the game today, and he said how much easier it is to play when you are in a rhythm like he's in. And not just something like offensively, because everything he said felt more comfortable, but just watching tendencies of hitters and how to call games. I'm sure that helped along Chris Medlin last night after a bit of a rocky start for the Braves right-hander.
Anytime you put some at-bats together, as he has over the last 4 days, it's going to make you feel a little more comfortable at the plate, just seeing the ball out of the pitcher's hand. And the fact that he's seen 3 straight left-handers makes a difference, too.
Yeah, it's got to be, this has to be one of the hardest jobs, certainly in baseball, but in sport, when you know you're only going to play once a week for the most part, and to go out there and try and be productive when you do that. I mean, it takes a lot of work in between to do that.
That ball inside out and almost down the line for extra bases, and it almost hit Escobar.
That was a good pitch, and he just spoiled it. I don't know if it was a strike or not, but take a look here. Couldn't tell.
No, it looked like a little cutter. It was too close to take.
Yeah.
Or he just try to fight it off and live to swing it one more time.
David would take a ground ball to the right side of the infield right now, behind in the count, get one in and move another guy over.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Braves will host the Phillies next. The Pirates will head home and take on the Cubs.
Yeah, they got a day game at home tomorrow, 1:30 game. With the Pirates do rather with the Cubs.
And that's been the team that Pittsburgh's been able to wail on so far this year. They've beaten the Cubs 5 out of 6 times this year. So they'll try to get healthy at home. Will count to David Ross with nobody out. What an at-bat. Bases are loaded for McLeod. Nate was 1 for 3 last night. Hit the ball very hard in the 4th inning for a clean single, then got hit by a pitch and struck out in his final 2 at-bats.
Anything but a strikeout here. Put the ball in play and get a run in. 0 for 3 in his career against his former teammate.
You mentioned the strikeouts. Nate with 43 of them. That's the highest total on the team. He's about a 270 hitter when he makes contact. And that off the plate to even the count at 1-1.
The way they've been pitching Nate is with that breaking ball off the plate to see if he'll offer, because he wants to pull everything, and then they tie him up belt high and a little above the belt, up and in, and he can't get the barrel of the bat to that pitch.
Missed again.
With patience.
Kind of the out of way, honest in theory that so many pitchers go with, and you know, oftentimes when you know a guy's pulling the ball like that, or trying to pull the ball, you know, you still have to pitch him inside, but you try and give him something inside where he can't do anything with it, and the pitchers have been doing a pretty good job at that.
Like that.
And that was actually probably a little bit better pitch, I think, than Mahalam wanted right there. But I think after the 2 breaking balls, Nate was looking for something out over the plate again.
He strikes him out. And McLouth's frustration shows. Bases loaded, 1 away for the pitcher now.
It's a big out for Mahalam. That changes the complexion of the little inning a little bit in his mind. Now he's thinking with a pitcher coming up, if he can, you know, get another strikeout maybe, or get a ground ball double play, he's out of the inning here. But in worst case scenario, even a strikeout, then he figures with 2 outs and nobody on, he's in a much better position to try to manage this inning than he was a hitter ago. And I think psychologically for these guys, they all know what's going on with KK too, and they're trying their hardest to try to get him a big inning, to try and give him a little bit of breathing room.
That's right.
Look how the Pirates defense lines up on the infield with the Braves pitcher up. And a strike out of play to the right side.
As I've said before about Kenshin, he handles the bat pretty well. He's got a good swing, but he's pretty good at handling the bat with respect to a bunt too, if Bobby wants to try to squeeze a run in here. Try to avoid a double play.
With bases loaded, it's not typically a squeeze kind of situation, but you're right. He does handle the bat well enough in terms of bunting that it might be a situation where Bobby might try and take a shot at one.
The outside corner. Now it's 0-2. Atlanta so far this year, 16 hits and 63 at-bats with the bases loaded. And they've struck out 18 times in those 63 at-bats, including McLouth's here today.
That's too many. Got to make contact. Ducks on the pond. I mean, you're going to make outs, but make them put the ball in play and not turning around and making a U-turn.
No RBIs this season for Kawakami. Sure, he saw Brian Burris last night with that 2-run scoring triple in the 4th inning help himself. He'd like nothing better than to find a gap here in the 2nd and extend his lead.
I wouldn't mind seeing him find a gap and cruise into 2nd and score 3 runs. I don't want to see him run around the bases.
Now Jaramillo wants to talk things over with Paul Mahalam.
But again, this is a situation this inning that with the Pirates and the way they're going, you put another run or 2 on the board here, and all of a sudden they've got that mindset. Their draw drops a little bit, and it's, we're behind again, and what are we going to do?
Two balls, 2 strikes.
I can't believe nobody's checking that.
I know. But they didn't.
But yeah, you're right, Joe. The way the Pirates are playing, I mean, they get down by 2 or 3 runs. In their mind, they might as well be down by 7 the way way things are going for them.
To put it in perspective, the Braves, who play in the National League Eastern Division, have more wins in the Central Division than the Pirates do. At the end of May. And Kawakami down on strikes. That's the second out of the inning. But now the challenge gets even tougher for Mahalam. He's got the man with more hits than anyone else in the league standing in, albeit with 2 outs. And how has Prado done with the bases loaded and 2 outs this year, you might ask?
I'm asking.
He's 1 for 1. That was a grand slam in Milwaukee. Can Lightning strike today? 0-1.
This is a big at bat psychologically for this early in the game. You know, for the Pirates, Mahalam, you got the bases loaded, nobody out. You're able to get out of this thing psychologically. It's a huge lift. And on the other side, I'm sure if they get out of this without scoring any runs, KK sitting in that dugout saying, "Oh my gosh, here we go again."
Right.
Fly ball, pretty well hit toward right center field, but it's going to be playable. And over there is Delwyn Young to retire the side. Braves load the bases with nobody out and cannot push across a second run. Last night down in Miami, Roy Halladay, the 20th perfect game in baseball history as the Phillies knocked off the Marlins by a run.
Yeah, second this year, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, I'm not. It's never something I don't think that you anticipate seeing, but I'm not surprised Roy Halladay did it as well as he's throwing the ball and as good as he's been over the last couple of years. You know, he's one guy, I guess, if you had to pick, he would certainly be on the short list of guys that would do it.
Struck out 11, had several 3-1 and 3-2 counts too, where it could have gone either way with a wide pitch. But 27 up, 27 down.
Well, good news in that is the Braves won't have to see him.
Yeah.
And Josh Johnson, the ultimate in tough luck losers, pitched a great game.
Yep.
An unearned run cost him the loss. As Jason Jaramillo starts off for the Pirates, and Kawakami jumps ahead of him. Speaking of the Phillies, Jaramillo came from Philadelphia in a trade for Ronnie Paulino. Last time Dave Baker, our great stat man, tells us there were 2 perfect games in the same year was 1880. So Dallas Braden of Oakland and Roy Halladay of the Phillies turned the trick in the same month. In 2010.
I believe it was Kid Nichols and Ernie Johnson back in 1880. Hope you're watching today, Ern.
I was going to ask, senior or junior?
Low it in to Jaramillo. 3 balls and 1 strike. Well, these perfect games piling up, Joe, they may have to lower the mound again.
I don't think so.
In the dirt, leadoff walk starts off the Pirates' 3rd inning. And the 8th place hitter, Akinori Iwamura, is going to stand in. Memorial Day is tomorrow here at Turner Field. The Phillies are in town. And the ball game followed by the Beach Boys post-game concert. That's presented by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. For tickets, visit braves.com/beachboys.
Joe, how many Beach Boys will you have to leave a ticket for tomorrow?
Just one, I think.
Yeah,
just one.
Wonder how many times Kawakami faced Iwamura in Japan.
Dave Baker.
Good question.
So are you saying it should be billed as the Beach Boy concert?
Could be, yeah. It'll be fun time, head by all, tomorrow afternoon. Roll out the big stage out behind second base. Baseball and Beach Boys can't get any better than that.
Back to the mound. That'll start another double play. And Escobar couldn't get it out of his glove. That was tailor-made. That's a bad break. A 1-6 play. Forces Jaramillo at second.
Give him a good feed, too.
Changes the dynamic of the inning a little bit now. Mulholland will have a chance to run a guy over and clear him and bring the top of the order back up.
Paul is not a good hitter. He is 0 for 21 this year, 0 for 31 at the plate dating back to last season.
Doesn't make him a bad person.
No. He's probably a great guy. Somebody that wants to be like Tom Glavine can't be all bad, Joe.
Right.
I mean, come on.
I didn't want to say it. I'm glad you said it.
Set his sights high.
And that ball butted hard towards second. Prado off balance, tumbled as he made the play. And the inning continues with McCutchen in the box, Iwamura in scoring position, and 2 outs.
Take a little hustle there from Martin. That was a good bunt by Mulholland.
That's a really good play by Martin. You know, as a second baseman, you're not expecting that ball to get past the pitcher like that. And for Mulholland, it's probably the best opportunity he's got to get a base hit is getting it past the pitcher.
Here's McCutchen. He had a comebacker his first time up. Controversy here last night in that the PA system, noticing McCutchen's long hair played the Aerosmith song "Dude Looks Like a Lady" when he stepped into the batter's box. McCutchen then hit a home run. Plays awfully quiet as Andrew made his walk up for a second at bat today.
He got his grip on the bat too. It's not a split grip, but his right hand is so turned up so high, there's a little space there between his bottom hand and top. As the bat set deep in his fingers, it's not deep in his hand, but he's got that right hand turned real high, almost like he wants to cock the bat back toward the pitcher. Sure, a fun player to watch. I know that. There it is. There you can see the fingers kind of pointed down almost.
Did he go? 2-2.
And he hurt his hand and wrist trying to stop his swing there. He got rung up on a check swing last night in the 7th inning. He was angry at the home plate umpire for ringing him up, so he goes 50-50 on that.
Over the outside corner, and McCutchen can't pull the trigger. Kawakami is through 3. Kenshin Kawakami pitching well in 3 innings of work. He has a 1-0 lead, and Infante Hayward and Troy Gloss are coming up for the Braves here at Turner Field in Atlanta. Infante flied out his first time up, and Paul Mahalam pitched around a big mess last time to keep this game 1-0. One and two.
Mahalan the last 2 years had a lot of no decisions. Pitched 500 ball, went 9-9 in 2008, 31 starts. So only 18 decisions and 31 starts. Last year he was 8-9 in 31 starts.
And Infante strikes out on a high fastball. 3 strikeouts in the last inning and 1/3 for the Pirate lefty.
206 innings pitched in 08, 194 and 2/3 last year.
Here's Hayward. Jason singled his first time up. That chased Prado around to third, and Martin came home on a sacrifice fly. Mahalan from the South, born in Greenwood, Mississippi, lives in Hattiesburg. And Joe, a first-round pick for the Pirates that's worked out for them, which has been a problem.
One of the few pitchers that they picked in the first round that stayed healthy. and I think they pick 4th next month in the draft. I think that's right. I know they're in the top 5, and with after the first pick, kind of threw a net over about 15 guys that could come next. They'll still get a good player somewhere in the top 5.
High hopper hit toward Iwamura at second. And 2 men are out. Let's revisit our AT trivia question this afternoon. Who was the last Pirate pitcher to strike out 200 men in a single season? Mahalam led their team with 119 last year.
Jason Schmidt.
Me too.
John Candelaria.
Wow. Forgot about him being over there.
Chuck says that Doug Drabek never fanned 200 in a season.
Really? That's surprising. Here's Gloss. Oliver Perez was a Padre. They got him in the Brian Giles deal. Now with the Mets, he's been sent to the bullpen. Just hasn't been able to put it together consistently enough for the Mets ball club. Another strike, 0-2.
I know the Mets have played well at home and lost again last night at Milwaukee, but their starting rotation's a mess with Maine hurt and Perez doing whatever it is that he's doing. Good thing Pelfrey's having a good year.
Yeah, he's been pitching real well. Santana's been pitching well too. He just can't get the benefit of winning any games.
Fly ball, well hit down the left field line. That might go. It will. Troy Gloss, a solo home run.
This guy's having.
Two RBIs today, 25 for the month, and now Escobar getting in on the fun. He's 2 for 2.
Back in April, there were some at-bats where we were wondering, if Troy, after having missed so much time over the last year plus, how long it was going to take for him to get his timing back. Well, one thing he said to me right at the beginning of the month when he started swinging really well was he said, it's all about getting that front foot down and then having some timing. And then after that foot gets down, remembering how to take the bat to the ball, and that's what's happened.
Everybody knows about the power that Troy Gloss displayed when he was with the Angels and the Cardinals and Toronto, but let's not forget, too, he only played 14 games last year. But all those April boos have been replaced by a whole lot of appreciation for his work at the plate. And oh, by the way, he's done a good job defensively at first base as well.
Well, your point's a good one because a lot of those boos were associated with strikeouts. He was fanning a lot.
With guys on base, he was one of the guys that was really fighting it with scoring opportunities for Atlanta. But he gives Kawakami a little more room with which to work. Now an even count to Cabrera.
First home run that Mahalan's given up in his last 4 starts plus 3 innings.
Yeah, Giovanni Soto, the last man to take him deep. That was on May 4th. And now a liner into right field past Iwamura, who is shading up the middle. And Escobar cuts the bases beautifully, and he goes first to third. Braves are doing that first and third thing a lot, too.
First of all, this was some good hitting. He fouled off the pitch before, Tom, and it looked like he was trying to take advantage of the hole and did here.
Yeah, the pitch before, he definitely was trying to shoot it to the right side, and that pitch, a little fastball up and in, and he kept his hands in and kind of fought it off over there and hit that hole. And like you said, Chip, Escobar did a nice job going first or third there. Would have been nice to have a couple of these last inning, but yeah, we got another opportunity here. Maybe we can take advantage of it, have a big inning.
Joe Kerrigan, his first trip to the mound today. He's been doing that an awful lot for Pittsburgh in this series. Here's David Ross. He walked to load the bases in the inning Tom just mentioned. 4 for 7 against Pittsburgh in the series. Ross homer with 2 outs, one of 3 consecutive hits in this inning.
Again, this guy is more or less a repeat of what the Braves have seen the last 2 days. All 3 guys left-handed, all 3 pitch a lot alike. They're all around the plate. They're not going to really overpower you or overwhelm you. They're going to give you something to hit virtually every at-bat if you're patient.
For our Braves club that this year at times has struggled to hit left-hand pitching, I guess that would be a big advantage. Did you feel that was a disadvantage following a lefty?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't necessarily want to. I mean, I would have rather followed a guy like Schmaltz, but yeah, I mean, you felt, especially if they were similar style of pitching.
So how did you combat that, or could you?
You know, I think you just went out there with your game plan in mind, and if because the team had seen 3 or 4 similar pitchers in a row and they were showing you that they were going to take the ball to right field or they're going to do some of those things that made me think I need to make some adjustments, then you would.
Hitter will tell you, though, won't he?
Other hitters will tell you. I mean, if you get, like I say, you get guys that come in the box and it's just apparent that, you know, everything you throw away, they're getting a good look at and they're trying to take their shots to right field, and then you throw that 1 or 2 pitches inside that are actually on the inner half or the inner third, and they're jumping out of the way. You know, it's telling you that they have no respect whatsoever for the inside part of the plate, and they're just trying to take the ball the other way all day long, which most teams try to do against me anyway. But
runner at first goes. The pitch is high. There'll be no throw. Nobody covered second base. So even if Jaramillo thought about a throw, there was nobody there to catch it.
This will set up an interesting thought process for Mulholland here, with already down 2-0, and they're struggling to score runs and a base open with a lefty on deck. I know ideally he'd love to, with 2 strikes here, put David away and get out of the inning, but it'll be interesting to see what his pitch selection is here with a base open.
He could try something, though, maybe get him to expand his strike zone, maybe throw him a curveball, try to backdoor him somehow. If you miss, you miss.
Yep.
So what?
Three balls, 2 strikes. They came inside and missed badly, and now McLeod for the 2nd straight inning bats with the bases loaded, this time though with 2 outs. Braves continue to lead the National League in walks. They continue to turn this lineup over and over and over again. No swing on the appeal to third.
Nate's in a spot where he's trying to hit everything that comes out of his hand. He's got to have to cut some of that off. Lay off any breaking ball if he can, and just look for that fastball. Sit on that fastball until he gets behind in the count. That might have been out of the zone a little bit, but he had a good hack at it. And he's still even in the count. So stay looking for the fastball. If they throw a breaking ball for a strike, okay. Yeah, that was up.
Line drive into right. And a diving catch made by Young that will retire the side. Tough luck there for Nate McLeod. Braves settle for 1 on a 2-out solo home run from Troy Gloss. in town. It'll be Salute the Troops on Memorial Day tomorrow for the opening of a 3-game series with the Phillies. And here is our AirTran upcoming schedule.
Henson, Hudson, and Lowe. Good for the Braves. No Holiday in there. That's good for the Braves, with all due respect to those other 3 fellas. But we were looking at some notes today about the Phillies against Atlanta, and they've kind of owned the Braves here at Turner Field in recent years. Maybe that can get turned around beginning tomorrow.
And while it is the unofficial start to summer tomorrow, Braves have a great celebration for the United States military. 250 active duty soldiers from Fort Benning, Moody Air Force Base, Warner Robins Air Force Base, and Fort Gordon will take the field for a special salute to the troops. The Silver Wings parachute demonstration team will participate, and Purple Heart recipients from World War II, Vietnam, Korea, the Gulf War, and Operation Iraqi Freedom will be honored as well. There'll be a big flyover. 2 A-10 fighter jets from Moody Air Force Base. And Fort Benning Commanding General Major General Michael Farrader will throw out the ceremonial first pitch.
That's great. I can't wait for that.
So we hope that as you all spend time with friends and family and enjoy the big weekend, that you'll also take pause and say thank you very much to the real heroes in our lives, the men and women of our armed forces who sacrifice so much for the rest of us.
And like you said, tomorrow's kind of the unofficial start of summer. It's kind of nice when all the neighborhood pools and the country club swimming pools, they open them up on like Friday so everybody can enjoy them the whole weekend. It's a great thing.
2-1 count to Walker. Now 2-2. And we were talking, Tommy, before the game. You take stock of your club around Memorial Day, don't you?
You do. I mean, it's still hard. I think it's still early to figure out exactly what you have. But as we were talking about, I think you got a better idea of what you don't have right now.
High fly ball lifted to right. Jason Hayward backs up 2 steps. And 1 is out. Our broadcast is always on Sports South, presented in beautiful high definition by H.H. Gregg. And so with that thought in mind, Tommy, both you and Joe, put your critical eye to the ball club. What do you see that you like? Where do you see there's room for improvement in this Eastern race?
Joe. Me first. I don't have any problem at all with the bullpen, the way it was made up to begin with. Medlin in there is kind of your 6th inning guy, but with him gone, that's kind of a hole right now unless somebody steps up.
AK slipped as he let go of that ball. See if he's all right. Ross out to check. 2-0 to Delwyn Young.
Of course, that might be taken care of as soon as Jurgens is ready to pitch. And the outfield situation right now with Cabrera coming around the way he is, that's a big bonus. But Nate's going to have to pick it up. Nate can't. He plays great defense, but he can't continue to hit 180 all year. You got to have some production from that spot in the order. And it may be on the club. Maybe Melky moves to center and someone else plays left. Hinsky, Infante, someone else. But other than that, I think it's a good-looking club.
Tommy?
No, I agree. I mean, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. I think the pitching staff's been fine. The bullpen's been great in my mind. They've been everything they've been billed to be.
Yeah.
You know, you still obviously have concerns with a little bit with Billy and Saito on the back end, that they stay healthy. But the rest of it, I mean, it's been fantastic. The rotation's been good. I'd love to see Jair come back if and when he does. That's almost like picking somebody up in the trade market.
That's toward third. Omar to his right. High throw, but Gloss is 6'5". No problem. 2 out.
You know, but I think you look at the team, and it's a team that doesn't have a ton of power and doesn't have a ton of speed. And when you don't have either one of those things, you know, it's kind of hard to identify with the team. You know, you can't say, well, their run production is coming from the long ball, or their run production is coming from their speed. So I think that's a little bit concerning. But you know, look, they're somewhere in between these 2 months. April, they couldn't score a run. May, they've been just fantastic. So I think they're somewhere in between. And you know, they're in a situation now where I think they've done a very nice job beating up on the teams that they should be beating up on right now. And now, starting tomorrow, they got a pretty tough stretch that's going to tell a lot.
We've got the Phillies for 3. Then we hit the road, 4 in L.A., 4 with the Diamondbacks. And then we make our first venture into interleague play and battle the Minnesota Twins at Target Field.
Ooh, took a real bite out of Brian O'Nora.
It's a standing 8 count there.
Yeah.
And he's checking the jaw. David Ross said, hey, that's nothing. 3 or 4 games ago, I took about 5 in a row in 1 inning.
Standing 8 count. I like that a lot. See, that's PR work right there by David.
Absolutely.
Good work right there. Patting him on the chest, hanging there, big guy.
Yeah, you sure you okay?
Yeah.
Toughest dump in the league. Jones went down and golfed that to center. McLeod flips down the shades on the run and is there to retire the side. Kawakami has retired 5 straight, and he leads by 2. It's turned into a beautiful day in Atlanta. And to answer our question posed in the pregame tease, to rain or not to rain? How about no rain other than runs against the Pirates pitching staff?
I vote for no rain.
I'm with you. Liner fouled.
I've gotten really tired the last 3 or 4 nights watching you guys go through these rain delays.
Thank you.
It takes a lot of practice to do it.
It's tough when you're watching it with your feet propped up on the coffee table and suffering through it, isn't it?
Yeah. I think I actually fell asleep and woke up, and there was another rain delay.
0-2 is fouled at the plate. So,
that got Jaramillo.
Up to what Braves moment did you get last night with that rain delay? Top 25.
I think I got to. Between 15 and 20, somewhere in there.
I'm guessing he caught it in between during intermissions.
Yeah. And the first time, I mean, I didn't stop watching because I fell asleep. I think I had to get the boys out of the pool and get them to bed because I had an early baseball game today. But yeah, it was. I felt for you guys. I mean, there's been a lot of rain delay.
2 ninth-inning rain delays.
Yeah.
Those are the killers.
Oh, man, that's the worst.
Well, we've had one with no outs. We've had one with 1 out in the 9th inning.
Yeah, and everybody, the other side included, is trying to get through that thing. But when it's raining sideways, there's not much you can do.
The funniest thing was Billy Wagner. He ran out trying to say, I don't need any warm-ups.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Let's go.
But Billy did, after that 24-minute delay, come on, pick up a save. It was a milestone save for him. Past Dennis Eckersley on the all-time save list. 391 of them now. And a bouncing ball hit toward first. Will retire Kawakami, first out in the Braves' fourth inning.
What'd Bobby just say, Tom? As soon as he hit that ground ball.
Easy. Yeah. He's yelling easy, and everybody in the stands is yelling at you because you're dogging it. You got the manager telling you to take it easy. I'm going to defer to him.
Yeah.
Here's the amazing Martin Prado. His average up another point to 325. He entered play today second in the National League in hitting.
At what point is Andre Ethier going to fall off that list? Being on the DL. Still hitting about 390 thanks to being on the DL for 2 weeks.
Prado has tied Ryan Braun in batting average now. And Ethier is not listed in the top 10.
Okay, so he's fallen off. Not enough at bats.
High ball to center. McCutchen on the run, slowing now. And two men are retired. Purchase $125 or more in regularly priced Braves merchandise from the Braves Clubhouse store at CNN Center, and you'll get a Stars and Stripes beach towel as a gift while supplies last. For more information, visit the Braves Clubhouse store at CNN Center or call 404-523-5854. There's a chance Ethier might be back tomorrow for the Dodgers. And then obviously he'd be back when the Braves head west. And Mahalam has a much-needed 1-2-3 fourth inning. 2-0 Braves as we head to the fifth. A pair as the Pirates come up for the fifth inning. Jeff Clement, Ronnie Cedeno, and Jason Jaramillo are coming up as Braves fans in Braves country wearing the Stars and Stripes this Memorial Day weekend.
I've got a question for you, Tom. It's been a while since Gabe was in Little League and playing and all that stuff, so I need a fashion comment from a guy who's got kids playing Little League again. You said he had a game this morning. Is that Peyton or Mason?
Yeah, both. They're playing on the same team.
Okay, now, are they wearing the flat-billed hat thing in the Little Leagues, or they give a little curvature?
No, they have a little bit of curvature.
Good.
Yeah. Well, at least my kids do.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm the fashion police in my house, and I have a lot of pull.
Good.
Now, you were very fashionable today for the Open, by the way.
Thank you.
Compliment you.
Yeah, until I spilled that food all over me, and other than that, it's all good. So I said, so I got for eating a salad and trying to be healthy. I should have just got something that I could put my hands around and take a bite out of it.
A strike to Clement. Broken bat. And Prado will throw him out. And he got sawed off. 6 in a row for Kawakami with the lead. Time now for a money and energy-saving bright idea from Georgia Power. Caulk and weather strip around the windows and doors to save money and energy. Go to GeorgiaPower.com for more energy-saving tips. Georgia Power is a Southern company.
I have a question for you, Joe.
Okay.
I was just wondering, sitting here, you know, at PNC Park, they did a beautiful job at that ballpark, and you got the beautiful view of downtown.
Right.
I wonder if there was any thought ever given to not building the upper bowl here at Turner Field in left field.
It would have been cool if the Stadium Club had been in right field.
Yeah, and then you could see downtown.
That would
I wonder if that was ever thought of.
I don't know.
Ronnie Cedeno, the hitter.
I know originally when they were talking about it, they were saying that you would have a view of the downtown skyline, but you really have to be kind of in the upper deck to see it.
Yeah, you've either got to be here or on the far right side of the dugout where you can peek between.
I had heard that someone said that it wasn't as aesthetically pleasing to have the Stadium Club.
Oh, really?
On the right side.
All right.
Okay. I'd trade all that for some lights in the outfield. That's the only thing this place misses. That's all.
I don't know. That kind of gives us a distinct home field advantage, though.
Yeah, right around 7:30 and 8. Yeah.
Two balls, 2 strikes to the former Cub, Ronnie Cedeno, and he fought that ball off before it plunked him.
Fox tracks provided by Sherwin-Williams painting the corners. That one was so far off the corner it almost hit him, as Chip said.
In the air to right. Hayward near the stands. Will he have a play? Negative, Ghost Rider.
I think the walk-off celebrations might get cut down or curtailed a little bit after yesterday.
Yeah, Kendry Morales hit a walk-off grand slam and had to be carried off on a stretcher as he rounded third and made the celebratory leap onto home plate. Somehow, some way, broke a bone at the bottom of his leg where it connects to the ankle, and he may be done for the year.
He's going to have surgery today, and they don't have a backup first baseman. They talked today that they may have to go out and make a trade for somebody to play first base. Just damages their chances in the American League West greatly because he's their cleanup hitter and big run producer.
When did that start? When did all that celebration at the plate start?
Somebody say 1999.
I don't want to sound like an old fogue, but why do you have to do that?
It's all these young kids that come in, you know, these Generation Xers, you know how they are. I don't know. I've never been a big fan of it, you know, and for that reason, I'm not saying I would expect somebody to get hurt and be out for the year, but it's so easy to get stepped on, you know, turn an ankle. You know, you see some of these guys that come home and guys are pounding on their head and beating them. It's like, my God. Some
of that started in college. I think some of that started in college and kind of carried on into the big leagues when some of those fellas made it up to the big league club.
10th pitch for Kawakami to Cedeno here in the 5th, by the way. And this one popped up. Ross near the screen. Play. At the risk of sounding like we're trying to turn this into the no fun league, I don't think that's the intent. But celebrate in the locker room. Act like you've done it before, as Vince Lombardi used to say.
You can celebrate in the dugout. Everybody can come out of the dugout, kind of greet you. Make a line, you know, high five everybody as you're coming in the dugout. Yeah. Some different ways to do it. I'm kind of tired of the shaving cream in the face deal, too. I don't understand that one.
I thought the best one of the year
was sales or something.
Was when the dugout emptied and McLeod went down to the tunnel.
That was nice.
Where the heck is everybody? But in that game, not only did they lose Kendry Morales, the Angels also lost Torrey Hunter. He got hit on the hand or has a wrist problem. He may miss a couple of days. The Angels were a team that many thought was going to win the American League West this year. Fly ball to center. Kawakami finally subdues Cedeno. Had a very good at bat.
He did.
That was a battle of attrition there, and 7 in a row are set down by the Braves right-hander. The other big baseball news, I guess, would be I wonder about the career of Dontrelle Willis. The Tigers designated him for assignment after their game yesterday.
What's he been doing this year?
Okay.
Yeah.
Good, one bad. Big contract. The Tigers finally cut ties with him as Jaramillo flies out to right. Kawakami has set down 8 in a row, has qualified for a win. He leads 2-0 through 4.5.
Game summary. Kenshin Kawakami shutting them out on 1 hit through 5 innings. How about that? Braves have had chances to really blow this game open, but only 2 runs so far. Martin Prado got the game started, as he seems to always do, with a base hit. First run of the game scored on a sac fly from Troy Gloss. That was in the first inning. And then in the 3rd inning, it was Troy Gloss again. A 2-out long ball to left field, his 7th of the year. And that's where we are, 2-zip.
Jason Hayward starts the Atlanta 5th. Tommy, how would you pitch Jason Hayward?
Carefully. You know, probably like I pitched to everybody. I'd want to find out if he could handle the pitch away, which I think he can. I want to find out if he can handle the off-speed stuff. You know, to try your best to keep him honest in above the hands. But, you know, to his credit, I know people have been trying a bunch of different things, and there have been times where people have had increments of success against him, but he's made the adjustment and turned things right back around.
Outside corner and a late call. Jason disagrees, and that's really a rare sight to see him take a called third. His strike zone knowledge has been very, very good in his rookie season, and he's the first out.
It's a good job by Jaramillo. Sherwin-Williams painting the corners here on Fox Tracks, and a generous call from Brian O'Noran. It was a late call, but Jaramillo did a good job of framing that.
So Jason's the first out, and the Braves' big RBI man has been Troy Gloss today. He has them both, a sac fly and a home run.
We were talking about backup catchers today. David Ross specifically. Jaramillo is a backup catcher for the Pirates. I was just thinking about some of those types of guys you threw to over the years in Atlanta. You had some good ones. The Damon Berryhills, the Eddie Perez types.
Yeah, we you know, Damon to me is the most similar to David, in that you know you're getting a guy primarily behind the plate that's going to call a good game. But then they have the element of offense that they bring with them. I think some of those other guys. Eddie was fantastic defensively, probably not as good a hitter as David Ross was. Charlie O'Brien, same way. Charlie O'Brien called a great game. You knew he was going to shut down the other team's running game. Whatever you got out of him offensively was a bonus. But, I can't remember too many of those guys that have had the ability to impact the game offensively the way David Ross has.
Quite a compliment.
And that's what makes him, I would guess, one of the more valuable players on this Braves team. There's clubs everywhere looking for quality catching. The Braves have 2 excellent catchers in McCann and Ross.
Yeah, now Eddie, when Eddie got the start against me when I was pitching against him, then he was
3 for 4.
He was Babe Ruth. I remember I pitched a game against him in New York, and I saw him before the game. And I said, "All right, Eddie." He came up first at bat, hit a screaming line drive right back at me. I was like, "Eddie, come on, don't hit the ball up the middle." So next at bat, he hit it in the left field seats, and he was running. Is that better? I said, "Yeah, that's a little better." At least you didn't kill me.
Full count to Gloss. You had trouble with that guy in Florida, right, Redmond?
Oh my God, I couldn't. He would send a car to the hotel to get me to the ballpark. I could not get that guy out.
Ross is on again. 3 walks for Mahalam. And Escobar 2 for 2. I believe he swung at the first pitch both times.
He did. We were talking last night about his need to be more patient and get a better pitch to hit. Well, at least today, they've been pitches he could handle and hit them hard.
And look at that scoreboard. He's hitting 200. So that's going in the right direction.
It is. Get to the Mendoza line and start climbing.
He started the day at 188. And a little low, 1 ball, no strikes. Phillies are in Florida today, and they're losing 1-0. That's Anibal Sanchez and Jamie Moyer down at Sun Life Stadium. The Braves start play today 1/2 game behind the Phillies. Well, all of a sudden, guys, the last 16, 17 days are really struggling to score runs.
Gee, what a coincidence. Wasn't it 16 or 17 days ago that they got accused of using binoculars in the bullpen to steal signs?
No, come to think of it, I think you're right.
Merely a coincidence.
They've been shut out 4 times, I believe, in that stretch. They won 1-0 yesterday. They're losing 1-0 today.
By the way, Anibal Sanchez pitching as good as anybody in the league right now. He got the win, the only win for Florida in that series against the Braves.
How deep in that game can he go? We know the trouble that Florida's pen has had. As Escobar is 3 for 3. He's seen 6 pitches. He has 3 hits. And Gloss stops at second.
Another good swing here. Quick swing on a fastball. Really no stride. Barely picked up his foot. Just put it right back down. And drove it right back where it came from. Good swing by Yunel today. Got it working.
First 3-hit game of the year and only his 5th multi-hit game of the season. So we'll keep an eye on that Phillies-Marlins score for you. Not only are the Braves trying to hunt down the Phillies who come in here tomorrow, they've also, guys, started to build some separation between themselves and the teams chasing them in the East.
Which is always a good thing. You don't ever want to be in that position where you're trying to climb 2 or 3 teams to get back in the mix, because you could get hot. The team that's in first place gets hot, or gets cold, but then the 2 teams that are in between you are getting hot at the same time. So, yeah, the more they can distance themselves from everybody else and just worry about one team, the better.
Braves 2.5 games ahead of the Nationals, who are at 500, the Mets, who are at 500, and Florida today trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. The only team in the division under 500. They're 24.
Take a look at this, Chip. They got a pickoff play on. They actually had like a pitch out there. Jaramillo was so far out in the batter's box, but whatever sign he gave to Iwamura and Cedeno didn't translate. Nobody covered. And he was angry about it.
They've had a couple of those now in the game. Remember, they had a stolen base attempt by Melky Cabrera last time he was on base. Jaramillo came up ready to fire. No one covered the bag.
Yeah. But but I think they probably had a play on for that. It was first and third, and I think he had put on a sign that I'm going to pump fake to second and see if we can draw the runner at third. Didn't work.
Melky down on strikes. 5 of those for Mahalam in the game. 2 on, 2 out for David Ross, who's walked twice.
He's had a good curveball today, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
It's funny to think about, but I mean, as good as the Braves have been offensively today with so many base runners, they only lead 2-0. This is very Kenshin Kawakami of them.
Yeah, it's that game that you feel in the back of your mind you don't feel good about because you know you've squandered a lot of opportunities.
Get some more.
Yeah, the good news is here we are in the 5th inning, and they do have a 2-0 lead, but they've already got Mahalam up to 93 pitches, so he's not going to get too much deeper in this thing.
He's due up second in the 6th inning, so John Russell may have a decision to make. 1 ball, 2 strikes to David Ross, looking for his first base hit today. And that one popped up to the left side. Cedeno drifting out at short. And that will take care of the Braves in the 5th. Atlanta has stranded 8 men through 5 innings and leads by a 2-0 score. Saluting Air Force Staff Sergeant Joseph Piercy from Kennesaw, Georgia, part of the Hometown Heroes program, where the Braves honor a member of our armed forces on our home Sundays. There is the Staff Sergeant. And, of course, with Memorial Day tomorrow, chance for even more ovations and more gratitude as the Phillies will greet us. First of a 3-game series, the Braves hoping to be within a half game of the Fightin' Phils as we start play tomorrow afternoon.
There's that record down there at the bottom. 19-8 the last 27 games here. Hopefully the cold bats will keep up for the Phillies.
Line by Iwamura on the first pitch into left field, and that snaps a long stretch of runners retired by Kawakami. And so Akinori Iwamura has his first hit of the game, and only the second of the day for the Pirates. And in fairness to the Phillies, we joke about the binoculars gate out in Denver, but that's a Phillies club that's missing Jimmy Rollins. And it's also a Phillies club that's missing another big piece of their puzzle, and that's Placido Polanco. A bunt, and Kawakami's got to play at second. And on the transfer, Escobar will be credited with the putout. 1-6 the putout. And now the pitcher has to run the bases. Braves will take that trade all day long.
Greenell's so good at turning the double play and so quick that twice today on throws coming from Kawakami, he's tried to hurry maybe a little too much. Haven't been able to make the transfer, but got the lead runner. That's good.
And that is the rule. If the bare hand goes into the glove, even if it's dropped, the fielder gets credit for the out. Here's McCutchen. He's 0 for 2. This guy going to stay a leadoff man, Joe?
He would if he were on my team. Can create so many problems for defense. He's hitting over 300, 5th in the league in hitting coming in, and as fast as anybody in the league. Can steal a ton of bases if you cut him loose.
And what does that threat of speed, Tom, do to a pitcher?
Well, I mean, it's double barrel, really. You got a guy in there that can take you deep, and also can force you to worry about him when he's on the base pass.
And he'll be on them now with one out. Second hit of the inning for the Pirates, third in the game. And Mahalam stops at second. And Neil Walker is coming up.
He's the kind of guy that, if you had hindsight, you'd rather have him just hit a solo home run and be done with it than have him on the bases, and then you got to worry about him out there for the rest of the inning.
Look how short this swing is, too. Brings his hands in a little bit to get the barrel down and in.
Yeah, not a lot of movement there.
No.
And quick.
Solid player.
So now we are in the dangerous part of the Pirates lineup. Neil Walker is up. Braves have left 8 men on base, lead by 2. The Pirates have the go-ahead run in the batter's box, potentially. And Walker has flied out twice, once to center and once to right.
Kinchin's been sharp today. Been around the plate with all his pitches. Hasn't made any mistakes with his split.
And economical, too.
Pitch number 70 coming.
See, that's the part that I like about it is you know, like you were just saying, he's in the zone, he's throwing strikes, he's being aggressive, he's being economical. All those things to me are a good sign for a guy who's gotten off to the start that he's gotten off to. Because I know he's got to be pressing in his mind that he hasn't won a game. But to me, he's out there today pitching to win. He's not going out there trying not to lose another game. He's out there being aggressive, trying to win. And to me, that's a really good sign.
Little roller hit to the right side. Prado will take care of Walker. The runners move up 90 feet. And now Young bats with runners second and third and 2 outs. This coming Wednesday, take the day off and surprise your family by taking them to a weekday baseball game. Tickets for the Braves and Phillies SunTrust Business Fan Special at 1 o'clock on Wednesday are on sale now. Visit Braves.com/tickets or call 800-745-3000. Yeah, 2 day games and a night game with the Phillies sandwiched between in the upcoming series.
That Wednesday game, Derek Lowe against Kyle Kendrick.
Can I come down even though I don't have to take the day off?
Yes.
Yeah,
I can.
We encourage you to do so. Come on.
Yeah, I got to get my boys down here to a game eventually.
Young is 0 for 2. Braves organization knows this guy pretty well. Young was originally drafted by the Braves in the 13th round in 2000. Didn't sign. Then they took him in the 29th round in 2001. Didn't sign. Then the Dodgers selected him in the 4th round in 2002. Now he's made his way to Pittsburgh.
So 2000, he was drafted as a high school player?
13th round.
And then in 2001, what is he?
29th round.
Junior college? Okay. Maybe he just didn't want to play for the Braves.
He's a West Coast guy. Born in L.A., lives in Hacienda Heights, California. Nick Ross, a nice stop, saved a run. Young had a really good minor league awards list. South Atlantic League All-Star in 2003, a Florida State League All-Star in 2004, Southern League All-Star in 2005 for the postseason, and an All-Star for the Pacific Coast League too. But again, Joe, to your point made earlier, another one of those interchangeable parts that the Pirates seem to have an abundance of.
They have Crosby, they have LaRoche, they have Young, they have Clement. They've got Walker now, Iwamura. Iwamura is just a second baseman, but everybody else kind of rotates around.
2-2 pitch.
Walker's going to play. I mean, he was brought up here to play every day, whether it's at second or third or even at first base remains to be seen. Once Alvarez gets called up, he's the third baseman. And that's going to calm down a lot of the in and out play of some of these guys.
Breaking ball struck him out. He has been sharp as a tack, and Kawakami's through 6. Shin Kawakami's firing a 3-hit shutout at the Pirates. And it's always a treat to be joined by 300-game winner Tom Glavine, along with Joe Simpson and yours truly for our wrap-up with the Pirates. Look how young you look back then.
Well, I was young once, you know. I mean, we were all young. It's not there anymore.
McLeod tries a bunt. Mahalam fields it and applies the tag. Acrobatic play, 1 out. And Kawakami will swing the bat. His season high for innings pitched is 6 innings and 2/3. That was May 9th against the Phillies.
And his high for pitches was the same game, 111. That was a game he gave up some runs early and then really stuck around. He really began to bear down and pitch great.
Yeah, I remember watching that game. It seemed like after the second inning or so, he was a different pitcher.
To Holland's credit, he too has hung in. He's scattered 8 hits. He's allowed only 2 runs, but he and Kawakami know all about it. If your offense doesn't support you, not much you can do about that.
Yeah, these two guys are all too familiar with pitching in these kinds of games.
Kawakami, among the active starters on the Braves roster, gets the least run support of all 5. 1.7 runs a game while he's still in the lineup. And he hits a towering fly ball to left. That's going to chase Jones back. That ball's going to bounce off the base of the wall, and that's going to be a double for Kawakami.
There's some zen at work here, boys.
The zen. Well, you know, there is an old saying, if you throw a shot out and hit a home run, you can't lose. So he almost took care of it right there.
Got a little Yunel Escobar pet throw there.
I think he might have thought he got that. If he'd have pulled it a little bit.
I can tell you this, that's a helpless feeling when you're Garrett Jones. You've been playing shallow, and all of a sudden, all the time you're running to the wall, you're going, you gotta be kidding me.
Let's see if Prado can chase him home. Martin 1 for 3 in the game. 26 RBIs. Boy, fellas, has his move to the leadoff spot changed things for the Braves offense. He's now scored 16 runs in the 15 games he has batted first.
Yeah, you don't. For all the talk we all heard about who's going to hit leadoff on this team for the first part of the season, there has been none of that since he's been in that slot.
And scoring runs is what it's all about in that spot in the order.
And that's a big run out there at second base as the bullpen starts to work on this muggy Sunday afternoon. Kawakami running the bases. Something else to factor in as to how long he stays in the game. Fly ball left center field. That's going to get down, and Kawakami held up just to be safe. And Prado, another multi-hit game. That's 12 times in the last 20. He's had 2 or more hits.
Pretty amazing stuff, and it is our Coors Light 6th inning. And time for the Coors Light freeze cam. Jason Hayward attempting a steal earlier today, and Jason Jaramillo with a lightning quick throw and release down to second base. Got Jason only the second time he's been caught stealing so far this year. That's the Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Joe Kerrigan's taken more trips than Timothy Leary in this series.
Yeah.
He's out there again with Braves runners at the corner and 1 out.
Brendan Donnelly was throwing in their bullpen, and this may be buying him a little bit of time.
Marlins still lead the Phillies. Now they're in the 8th inning. 1-0. Florida leads there. Astros and Reds, no score in the 8th inning. Cincinnati leads the National League Central by a couple of games of the Cardinals. Brewers lead the Mets early, 2-1 in the 3rd. And here it's 2-0 for Infante. Omar 0 for 3.
Pirates also had left-hander Javi Lopez warming up too in case they need him to pitch to Hayward.
New set of signs for Mahalam as Infante steps out. Omar with a homer, 9 RBIs. Outfield plays him deeply. Braves have 10 hits again. Trying to sweep away Pittsburgh.
That was a really good pitcher's pitch, and it's tough to lay off that pitch if you're Omar Infante, but Mahalam's trying to get him to hit the ball on the ground. Fastball at the knees, may have taken a little bit off of it, but Omar wants him to get the ball up. Breaking ball doesn't matter, just something up that he can drive.
Like that, and that almost picked off Kawakami.
The second guy's almost gotten drilled down there today.
Look out, KK.
Troy Glaus said earlier, hitters are producers, not directors. All they can do is put it in play and see where it ends up. That one just missed for extra bases. 1 ball, 2 strikes instead of first.
Well, that's so true because most producers I know don't have any idea where it's going. So he is right on target.
Joe Vencius manning the controls in our truck today.
Just to be sure.
All my producers have been great. I don't know about you, Joe.
Gary Lehman, our director. Gretchen Caney, the stats. Great job as always on our pre-Memorial Day Sunday in Atlanta. Good ball game. Braves up by 2, looking for a little help here in the 6th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Little discussion going on here about what they're going to need to do to get Omar, keep him from getting that run in.
Yeah, I think that was the pitch they wanted him on right there. A change up, down, away, either a swing and a miss or a ground ball, and they've been inside a couple times.
Now look at where Iwamura is playing at second base, and he's almost up the middle. If he go down and away, wouldn't that help Infante here?
Theoretically, it would, yeah. I mean, they're not, the way they're playing on the infield, you would think he's going to pitch him inside.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Prado leads at first with 1 out. Not going. Now he does. Popped up on the infield right side, foul and playable. And Omar not happy as he pops out an 0 for 4 day. Now Hayward hits.
What are they going to do? Looks like they're going to leave him in. It's a pitch to Hayward. Struck him out looking last time up. Maybe that's what they're counting on.
A lot of breaking balls early in the count. Let's see if Jason attacks one here. He did, but he missed it. Strike 1.
Looked like he dropped down a little bit on that one. A little bit more of a sweeper, more so than that over-the-top curveball he's been throwing.
He kind of went Javi Lopez on him.
Kawakami doubled with 1 out. Prado singled him to third. Infante pops out. Now Hayward a 1-1 count.
Trying to keep the ball away from him, and that's smart. But if you make just the slightest mistake on near the outside corner, he'll shoot that thing to left field. And the way Garrett Jones is playing way off the line, that might drive in 2.
That ball beaten off the infield dirt in front of the plate. And Hayward and the Braves leave 2 more men on base. Braves have stranded 10 through 6, but still lead it by a 2-0 score. We've completed 6. Braves 2, Pirates nothing. And Kenshin Kawakami will face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in this Pirate attack today. And Braves fans, FoxSportsSouth.com's your all-access pass to your Atlanta Braves. Go inside the clubhouse with our Braves podcast and hear what Jason Hayward, Chipper, Bobby, and the rest of the team are saying after the game. Not only that, make sure your voice is heard by sharing your questions and your comments in the hot corner, because nobody covers your team like our team. Fox.com. Kenshin Kawakami gunning for his first win this year, and he's not the only 0-7 pitcher starting today. Felipe Paulino for the Astros is facing the Reds. That's no score in the 8th, and he's still on for Houston.
It's pretty good against that Reds team. They've been hot again. They've won 4 in a row. They have a 2-game lead in the Central.
Cardinals offense can't get on track right now. The Reds have taken advantage. They've blasted the Astros the last 2 games. So here in the 7th, pivotal inning for Kawakami. Jones, Clement, Cedeno coming up.
First sign of trouble. Peter Moylan is loosening up in the Braves pen. I think he's got some company too.
Liner foul into the seats.
Eric O'Flaherty has joined him.
Yeah, I think Bobby's going to keep him on a short leash. He's not the way he's pitched, the way things have been going. He is not going to give him the slightest chance to lose this game.
Moylan on the left, O'Flaherty on the right. Garrett Jones kind of started the season with a splash, boys. I mean, hit 2 home runs in his first 2 at-bats to start the year. But he's only got 5 total, so only 3 since then. And he's certainly a threat. He's a big swing, drives the ball, but it's been a little slow coming long ball wise since those first 2 at-bats.
Ross, did he catch it? Yes, he did. Jones thought he tipped it to the turf first. John Russell argues, and now the third base umpire, Chris Guccione, is going to come in and overrule. And they're going to want to check the baseball. Bobby Cox now out for an explanation. They'll see if that ball has a scuff on it.
Chris was very emphatic from the get-go about the ball hitting in the dirt. And I thought it hit in the dirt when I was watching it too. David Ross did a good job of selling it because he came up with it cleanly. Let's see. Definitely hit in the dirt. The only thing that would have saved Jones was being able to foul tip it, and I couldn't tell if he did that.
Didn't look like that ball changed direction. It was already headed down. Do we hear anything?
It definitely something hit the dirt.
The ball hit the dirt, certainly. Whether he foul tipped it or not, we couldn't tell.
So Jones gets a new life. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Same kind of swing. And a nice catch behind the Pittsburgh dugout. Jones hit 21 home runs for the Pirates in only 82 games last season. And they have been looking for left-handed power in that ballpark for a long, long time. And still looking this year.
League might be catching up to him a little bit, though, after that big splash last year and his start this year.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Jones was originally a youngster in the Braves organization, but was too old to play rookie ball anymore. He had no place to put him in their lower reaches of the farm system, so he wound up going to Minnesota, then on to Pittsburgh.
There's an age limit on rookie ball?
I didn't realize that either.
I didn't know that either.
Chino Kata, he had told me that while we were on the last road trip.
By the way he swung on that curveball that he popped over their dugout, I'm surprised they didn't show him that one again.
And a leadoff walk, and Kawakami disappointed in that. So from strike 3 and a disputed call, Jones fights off a couple of pitches and walks to lead off the 7th inning.
Kept going down and in. I don't know that they really wanted to, and you can see how far he missed his target there and was upset with himself.
Now Jeff Clement, the first baseman, he's hit 4 home runs this year, but today is 0 for 2. Hasn't gotten the ball out of the infield. Hitting a double play his first time up.
Make another ground ball here.
Won't get it. Rocketed toward right center field and deep, and just like that, Pittsburgh has tied this game. All of those early opportunities to score certainly look big now. It's 2-2.
First hit he's gotten off the Braves in 6 games, 0 for 10. Prior to that at bat. Coors Light cold hard blast, and this was cold. Fastball, middle of the plate. Really no doubter.
So that's the bad news. Pittsburgh has tied the game. Good news is the Phillies have just lost. Florida beat them 1-0 today. Braves have to start over in a 2-2 game. Nobody out for Cedeno, who's hitless. It's funny how the game can turn on 2 pitches. The home run certainly will get the big notice. But it looked like the Braves had Jones struck out. And he worked the walk. Came home on that long blast to right center. Defensive swing by Cedeno, and Kawakami gets him. And that ate him alive. Cedeno is the first out. Here's Jaramillo. He has walked and flied out. Mentioned earlier today that Dontrelle Willis was designated for assignment by the Tigers. Max Scherzer took his place in the rotation. Scherzer today pitched 5 2/3 innings and struck out 14.
He's got a big arm.
He's going to have to quit striking so many people out so he can get deeper in the game.
Yeah.
He gave up 2 hits for the Tigers, winning over the A's 6-2. 2 balls and a strike. That's hard hit. Gloss. That one came through the webbing of the glove and somehow it stuck. Look at that. Somebody get the glove doctor ready.
Get Porter out there. Fix that thing.
And that's going to do it for Kawakami. Is Jaramillo the last man he will face?
Almost through there. Troy put his hand on the baseball to make sure it didn't fall out.
So KK equals his season-long appearance, 6 2/3 innings, and he should leave with his head held high. He threw a beautiful ball game, and the crowd in Atlanta acknowledges the effort. have to wait.
Well, and at 1.7 runs per start, he gets 2 today.
Eric O'Flaherty, the first AT call to the bullpen for Bobby Cox today, and Iwamura greets him. Iwamura's had a very rough start to his Pirate career. At one point, he was 0 for 34. Then on May 23rd, picked up a couple of hits against the Braves. Since, he's hit safely now in 6 of the last 7 games played.
Battle the bullpens now, and you like the Braves' chances. As you said, Tommy, the bullpen's been, as advertised, very good from the get-go, especially late in the game.
And O'Flaherty retires Iwamura. But a walk and a home run for the Pirates in the top of the 7th inning. In the middle of our 7th inning. And a 2-2 game.
That guy can belt it out, can he? Time for game summary here. Braves scored in the first inning. Base hits by Prado and Hayward set up Troy Gloss with a sacrifice fly. And then it was Troy Gloss again in the third inning with a 2-out home run. His 6th of the year, make it his 7th of the year. He's now hit in 5 straight games. But the Braves have left 10 men on base. Had lots of chances to add to the lead behind Kenshin Kawakami. He had the Kenshin Geishas here today. Double play, turn behind him. A couple of strikeouts in key situations. This play was instrumental. It was called a foul ball, and a clean foul ball. He eventually walked. And then Clement with a 2-run homer ties it here in the top of the 7th. So some really tough luck again for Kenshin Kawakami, and again, we just keep going back to those guys that were left on base. That's what really hurt.
Yeah, unfortunately for Kenshin, it's kind of the same formula. They had plenty of opportunities to score some runs, give them a little bit of breathing room. They weren't able to do it, and you just wonder how much that plays on his mind as the game goes on. And here we go again kind of mode. And, you know, really the home run ball really wasn't all that bad of a pitch. It was down in the zone, maybe caught a little bit more of the plate than he wanted, but certainly a ball that he could have easily hit on the ground and gotten a double play. But, you know, hopefully they can bounce back and score a run here, get the win, and the bullpen can continue to do what they've been doing so well all year long.
Nice job, too, by Pirates starter Paul Mulholland to keep the Buccos in this game despite giving up those 10 hits. He will give way now to Joel Hanrahan, who will be the first Pirate pitcher out of the pen today. Andy LaRoche also is in the game. He'll play over at third base and hit ninth as Pittsburgh double switches in the Atlanta seventh. Troy Gloss has been on base twice. He's homered, he's walked, and he's hit a sac fly. He's accounted for both Braves RBIs. Gloss as hot as you can be in May, hitting over 320. 5 homers and 25 knocked in this month. Walker moves over from third to second, so Iwamura is out of the game. Roche at third. And a 1-1 count to Troy Gloss. This guy's been tough for Troy to hit. He's 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts in his career against the Pirate pitcher.
Well, he can bring it. He throws hard, and if he gets that breaking ball over, it just makes him doubly tough. In the past, his troubles, not how hard he could throw, but how often he could throw strikes.
And there's one for a 2-2 count. So let me correct myself. Hanrahan bats 8th, LaRoche 9th. That's what I said earlier, so we're all set. 2-2 game. Gloss to start it. On a muggy afternoon at Turner Field. Yunel Escobar and Melky Cabrera have combined for 5 hits. They're following the Braves' first baseman.
Hanrahan worked here Friday night, worked an inning, struck out 2 batters, hit 1. That last pitch to Troy at 97.
In the air, softly hit. Young broke back, now comes charging, still coming, dives at the line and hangs on for the first out. He hasn't been graceful, but he's been effective. And Gloss is out number 1.
He kind of takes a while to make up his mind that, it's coming my way, I better go get it.
I swear it looked like he was looking toward the infielders the whole time he was running in, but made the play, and that's all that counts.
And that is our Toyota Tacoma play of the game. A nice effort to spoil a perfect day for Troy Gloss. Here's Escobar. He's been perfect. 3 for 3. Aggressive early in the count again, but with much better results.
2 hits on the first 2 pitches he saw, and then worked the count a little bit in the 5th. Got another single.
Pretty good day when you can add 18 points to your batting average. He's up to 206. That shatters. And Cedeno throws out Yunel for out number 2. This game kind of paralleling our matchup with the Pirates a week ago. That was a 2-2 game as well. 1-1 by Pittsburgh on a 10th inning home run. Chris Medlin started that one. Gave up 2 runs in 5 2/3 innings. Braves couldn't get much of anything done against Zach Duke. Eric Hinsky hit a game-tying homer in the 8th inning off Evan Meek, and then Domit sent us to Florida. Melky Cabrera is 2 for 3. Left-handed for the first time, and Joel Hanrahan made short work of the Braves in the 7th, didn't he? Boy, was that impressive. 3 up, 3 down, 8th inning. Still tied 2-2. Call to the bullpen. Saito pitched an inning last night and was his usual very effective self with a couple of strikeouts. "31 strikeouts, only 8 walks for the Braves reliever." And Pittsburgh third baseman Andy LaRoche steps in first. A 2-run homer from Jeff Clement ties this game in the 7th. No decision for Kenshin Kawakami.
Sure, you can tell somehow when you're standing at the plate right-handed. I'm not sure about left-handed. If you can tell when Takashi even puts his hand in the glove and is ready to come to the plate. Maybe raises the glove out away from his body a little. But in some cases, looks like he's still standing there getting his sign, and here he comes.
Yeah, I was just watching it myself when you said it. It's hard to see. I mean, there's a little flicker of his glove when his hand goes in, but it's. You got to be paying attention for it.
Braves bullpen this month has been simply terrific. Collectively, they're 8 wins, 2 losses, 4 for 4 in saves. They've struck out 88 men in 76 innings. They've walked only 31 guys. And their ERA 3.32. And Saito will take care of LaRoche. Ball was dropped, but David applied the tag. And LaRoche is the first out for the Pirates. Well, there's nothing more, I would assume, disheartening than power guys coming out of the bullpen. And you look at the makeup of this Braves relief corps. You know about Billy Wagner. Saito has closed. He can throw the ball in the 90s. Eric O'Flaherty has his fastball. You know about Moylan. Jesse Chavez, a big arm. And Johnny Venters continues to get the old "who's that guy" stare from just about everybody he faces.
They won't be getting it. He won't be getting it for too much longer. But no, you're right. They've got a lot of guys that can bring it, and from both sides, which makes it real hard.
Another strike to McCutchen. Nice crowd today at the ballpark of 31,078. If you haven't made your plans for tomorrow, come on out. The Phillies are in town. Braves win this game, they'll be a half game back on Memorial Day. And to put that in perspective, the Braves were 6 games out at the end of play May 9th. Off the mask of Ross, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Phillies lost 1-0 in Florida this afternoon. Fastball, and McCutchen has a seat.
The thing about power arms at the end of the ball game as a hitter is you have to respect the fastball. It doesn't matter what they throw off speed. I mean, slider, changeup, whatever it is. You gotta be respectful of the fastball, and that's what makes, to me, what makes them so effective.
Yeah, none of those hitters want to get beat by a fastball.
No.
I mean, when you got those guys that are bringing it, and oh, by the way, you know, you got Wags coming out of there with an 89-mile-an-hour slider to boot. I mean, it's an awful lot to cover.
Neil Walker, 2 outs. Backdoor breaking ball puts him behind it in the count.
And you got Saito that's 91, 92, and then, oh, by the way, here's a little backdoor breaking ball.
Yeah, just a little something for you to think about the rest of the at-bat.
Fly ball, well hit. Driving back is Cabrera, and slowing and making the catch. Saito 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 8th inning. Ross McClouth, and then we'll see for the Braves in a 2-2 game. For catcher David Ross. We told you a week ago, Eric Hinsky, leading off the 8th inning, hit a solo home run. That was off Meek. See if he can time a fastball and put the Braves up a run. It's a 2-2 game.
He can turn around anybody's fastball. Just love Evan Meek's reaction there. Put his hands behind his back like he's going to say a little prayer to keep that one in the park. Didn't work.
Eric Hinsky, part of a Braves bench that's done a very good job when called upon. Hinsky has a 5-hit in 18 at-bat pinch hit record with that home run and 4 runs batted in.
Well, he just gets the barrel of the bat on this fastball. It's going to go.
2-2.
I can't imagine that they would throw him another fastball unless they waste it off the plate and try to get him to chase it. He's had a little slider, and see if he throws it, makes a mistake with it.
Maybe a miss down and in and not quite in.
That pitch 97, but off the mark, full count. Last thing he wants to do is walk Hinsky to lead off the inning.
That's why Eric can sit on that fastball. If he beats him with a slider, so be it.
Popped up. Shallow left. Jones, LaRoche, and Cedeno. It'll be Garrett. And Hinsky is retired for out number 1. Nathan Clouth bats. Tried to bunt his last time up and was retired by the pitcher Paul Mahalam. 8-0 for 3.
What a good pitch there. Fox Tracks showing that he was painting the corners per Sherwin-Williams on that one. That was a good running fastball.
Brian McCann's grabbed the bat. He's in the on-deck circle. He'll bat in Saito's spot.
Tell you what's tough for Hinsky and McCann is that they haven't played in this series. They've been with the lefties and with Brian's quad muscle problem, so it's kind of tough to come off the bench cold and crank it up for this 97.
Yeah, it's one thing to come off the bench. They're trying to hit 91, 92, but 97? That can't be a lot of fun.
That guy's still available too.
As is Gregor Blanco and Brooks Conrad. 2 balls and a strike.
Got to crank it up, tune it up just another notch here for this guy. Maybe a little late on that fastball. 3-1.
And a 1-out walk to a fast base runner. And it will be Brian McCann.
Kind of nice on a day like today, late in the ball game, when you can go to your bench and there's Hinsky, McCann, and Chipper sitting over there.
Yeah, that makes it already really good bench. Really, really good.
Brian hasn't played the last 3 games, a strained right quad. But he'll be good to go tomorrow afternoon, and his bat has come to life. Last 12 games for McCann. 16 for 50, 3 homers, 9 RBIs, and 2 or more hits in 6 games.
Ryan Dolman hasn't thrown anybody out trying to steal for the Pirates, but Jaramillo's gotten Hayward already today. He's 2 for 3 in that category for the season.
Somebody in the dugout screamed that was a balk. 1 ball, no strikes. McCann has pinch hit twice for the Braves, looking for his first pinch hit of the season.
I know you like having that hole open over there on the right side for Brian with a runner at first being held, but I say put some pressure on the defense, send him, see if you can get him into scoring position.
He's going. Pitch outside. Jaramillo's throw. Late.
I'd say Nate does a remarkable job of sliding late, keeping his speed up going into the bag, and then still staying on the base. A lot of guys will slide right by the bag or pop up off of it. He comes in with that back leg and keeps it on the base. That's pretty impressive. But watch how hard he goes into the base here. You get to the bag so much faster by sliding late. If you got good body control like he has and a good slider, that's really an advantage for a base stealer.
How do you not tear up a knee doing that? You saw the force that he hit the bag there.
But it's not a stiff leg. He's not hitting the bag with a stiff leg. It's bent enough that it absorbs the shock of hitting the base, and then you're rolling right over the top of it.
So a hit by McCann could put the Braves in front. Joe Kerrigan with another meeting. Back into the dugout. We'll see with a 2-0 count, what, if anything, they give McCann. Prado's on deck.
I don't know about you, Tom, but I always felt like you're playing on the road. The bottom of the 8th is kind of like the bottom of the 9th. The only run you're really concerned about is the guy at second base. If you walk McCann, so what?
Yeah, so what? You know, you're still going to set up a ground ball or a double play opportunity if you walk him.
Brian gets a green light here. They're not going to give him much to hit, it doesn't look like. So way up outside. Missed the target and got a strike.
Braves broke open a close game last night with 2 in the 8th. Martin Prado doubled home. A couple of runs. Braves led that one 4-3 at the time, won 6-3. Here it's 2-2. Good hitter's count to McCann. Double play in order as he walks. Back-to-back passes issued by Hanrahan. And now you've got Prado, another 2-hit game, and 69 hits working here in late May. If he can keep the inning alive, Braves have another big weapon waiting on deck.
Just to try to cut down on McLeod's lead so he doesn't get a great jump on a base hit.
Braves left the bases loaded in the 2nd. They left them loaded in the 3rd. Left him at 1st and 2nd in the 5th, 1st and 3rd in the 6th. Now have 2 on, 1 out, and Prado up.
Pretty good eye there by Martin, right off that pitch that was just off the plate a little bit, tailing back some to the corner.
Kind of surprised that as hard as this guy throws and they're pitching him away, they have the second baseman holding McLeod phone.
That one caught the corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Breaking ball there.
Here you go. They check and call him out on strikes.
You know what? It went a lot farther than it looked live.
So second strikeout sets things up for Chipper Jones. And you like this matchup. Chipper lifetime against Hanrahan is 3 for 6 with a home run.
Best pitch I think Hanrahan made in that sequence against Martin, though, was the first one. The first pitch fastball got ahead in the count and kind of set the tone for that whole at bat. Had Martin on the defensive.
Yeah, and then he was able to come back with that slider that he couldn't pull the trigger on, and then got him thinking slider on that last swing.
Big cut. And strike 1. Chipper all of a sudden a 3-game hitting streak. 5 hits in his last 10 at-bats. Looking for his first homer left-handed this year. Settled for a single. And he might just have it. Little flare. Little flare. Braves lead at 3-2. He broke his back, but he puts the Braves in front.
A rock, a stolen base, and a Ric Flair to left. It's a beauty. Just fought it off. Just out of the reach of Cedeno. And look at Chipper's reaction.
As bad as his luck has been, he deserves a turn of fortune, and he gets it here in the 8th inning. Chipper Jones with his 6th hit in the last 4 games, a bloop pinch hit single, scores the go-ahead run for Atlanta. It's now 3-2. Scores the go-ahead run off the bat of Chipper Jones. Nate McLeod drew a 1-out walk, stole a base, and scores the third run of the night.
What'd you say Chipper was against Hanrahan before that?
3 for 6.
So the next time we see the Pirates, we'll have those numbers. He's 4 for 7, and we're going to go, boy, he just wears this guy out.
Yeah.
Gets rockets off of him everywhere.
Yeah, Chipper's hit about 387 feet worth of hits against Hanrahan. Now the lefty-lefty matchup has Hayward and Javier Lopez. Jason 1 for 4 in the game today. Braves by 1. Little insurance would be A-OK. Got to remember, Brian McCann is the runner for the Braves at second base. He has to stay in the game because they pinch hit for David Ross. Remember, too, though, Brian hasn't played the last 3 games with that quad. Brian Snitker, the Braves third base coach, has to really make a careful calculation as to how hard to send McCann should Hayward hit safely. Line left center. He can walk home. Hayward comes through. Look at Chipper flying around. He's going to score. Hayward's headed for 3. Triple. A 2-strike dagger to the heart of the Pirates.
Tommy, you said something earlier today about how he'd gone into a few dips and then had to make some adjustments. He's a guy that can make adjustments within the bat. And for a 20-year-old, it's remarkable.
He does. I mean, it really is remarkable, like we've talked about, his command of the strike zone, his ability to make adjustments. And, you know, on a 2-strike count, that was not a very good pitch right there. And you know, again, lefty on lefty, doesn't pull off it, drives it in the gap. Just a nice piece of hitting.
So Jason Hayward now 38 runs batted in. That pulls into a tie for third in the National League with Andre Ethier of the Dodgers. That's his third triple. 22 RBIs in the last 26 games. And just like that, the Braves have a 5-2 lead and are 3 outs away from pulling to within a half game of the Phillies, who will be here tomorrow. Wind is picking up as Gloss bats with 2 outs.
You mentioned this wasn't a very good pitch to Hayward, Tom, and it was down and in, but here's the targets away. Might have had a lot of the plate, but the thing was, he had tried to pull a breaking ball earlier in the count, but he was thinking very defensively, inside out, try to fight off anything the other way, and wound up with a triple. That's what I just continue to marvel at, how he approaches certain at-bats depending on the count and the situation.
You're absolutely right. I mean, it's the fact that he wasn't trying to cheat to hit anything right there allowed him to stay in and get that mistake fastball and drive it in the gap.
Gloss earns a walk. Again, something that's not often talked about with this Braves team is their team-wide patience at the plate. They have walked 6 more times in this game.
And it started with a 1-out walk to McLeod, who has had a really rough day at the plate. But Nate draws a 1-out walk and then steals second. That set everything up. Forced John Russell to make some moves.
And I think, too, you know, we were talking about earlier the things that to point out that you don't like about this team. And one of the points I made about not having a lot of power. Well, if you're putting the guys on there on base a lot and you're drawing a lot of walks, you don't need a lot of power because a base hit can break it open.
The fate of Billy Wagner may depend on what Escobar does in this 8th inning at bat.
He might be rooting for an out right here.
Yes. Chance to come in and save the game.
Nice enough. Three-run save.
Sure to say, you know I love you, but looking for number 392 today.
Yeah, it's something else, too. I was watching Chipper run, and the old 38-year-old Hoss can still move it when he needs to. If that had just been a double, he was going to score anyway, let alone a triple. And he scored on a double, I think it was last night, that Hayward hit to left center.
So Bobby Cox pushed all the right buttons in the 8th inning. McCann walked after McLeod turned a pass. And Chipper, a switch hitter, tied the hands of John Russell. A blue pit. And then the blast from Hayward. Deep into the hole at third goes LaRoche. He'll make the pickup. He'll force Troy Gloss. And he'll send this game to the 9th inning. The Braves, for the 2nd game in a row, have a big 8th and a big lead with
How far did it fly home run off the bat of Troy Gloss in the 3rd inning? Traveled 353 feet down the line, his 7th of the year. The Braves' 2nd run of the day.
So Enter Sandman, Billy Wagner, looking to nail down save number 392 in his career. A 5-2 Atlanta advantage. And, you know, Bobby loves to make this kind of AT&T call to the bullpen. And a chance for Billy to earn his 7th save of the year. Delwyn Young starts it off.
Last night, the Braves bullpen worked 3 innings. They retired the Pirates 9 up, 9 down, struck out 6. O'Flaherty and Saito, an inning and a third, they struck out 3.
And folks, the bad weather is getting close. The wind has shifted. It's really blowing hard from right to left across the diamond at Turner Field. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Young. Braves have had a couple of rain delays in the 9th inning already in this series. Well, if you talk about it, it won't happen.
Reverse psychology?
Yes. McCann and Chipper into the game defensively. Nobody on or out for Young. Now 2-2. From 0-2 now to 3-2.
Put a little rumble through the crowd too when he goes 3-2 because they can see the clouds.
Took a little off. And Billy with a little flip of the hand. I don't think he was saying to Young, get out of here, but mad at himself for working the count. 1 out.
Yeah, I think he was. That was the. Why didn't you do that 3 pitches ago?
Here's Garrett Jones. He singled, walked, and scored ahead of a Clement homer. Broken bat, little pop. Can anybody get it? Billy Wagner makes a basket catch.
Oh boy, let the athlete take it, Chipper.
Oh, that'll resonate.
He was a safety in high school or something, I think. Highly recruited.
Nicely done.
Great jump on that ball. Willie Mays basket catch.
Oh, great. Braves looking to go 13-1 against the Central Division since that 4-game sweep at St. Louis.
And Bobby Crosby will bat for the Pirates. If you haven't been a part of the buzz at Turner Field in the first 2 months, folks, the excitement is growing in Atlanta. Be a part of it. Phillies are in next. Fly ball to left. Cabrera back. Braves win it 5-2. Another team win, fellas.
Yeah, a lot of things well done by a lot of guys today. Unfortunately, the only downside to today's game is that Kawakami wasn't able to be a part of the win on the winning side of it. He pitched a great game, gave him a chance to win again. But yeah, a lot of guys contributing and a lot of good things out there.
And the Braves now 1/2 game behind the Phillies in second place, and they'll see them here tomorrow afternoon. There's your final score. Braves 5, Pirates 2. Coming up next, Braves Live. So stick around for post-game interviews, Bobby Cox sound, and our highlights. For Tom and Joe, I'm Chip Carey. Braves Live coming up next.